My name is Alyssa Madera, and I am IUN Oral History Project, and I will be introducing Professor John Beck. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
So, just going into the questions. Are you from Gary, Indiana, or from the Midwest?
I am from the Midwest. I was originally born in Minnesota. We moved to Wisconsin, and then when I was about 8 years old, we moved down to Indiana, and I've been an Indiana resident since then.
Oh wow, from Minnesota. Is it
Yep.
different from Minnesota? I know the weather is kind of similar.
The weather it's really hot in the summertime and really
Yeah.
cold in the wintertime. It's much milder here.
Yeah. Okay, so school-wise, what school did you go to growing up around here?
Well, I went to 4 different elementary schools. When we finally moved to Indiana, I started at Wheatfield Elementary and moved to DeMott Elementary before going to Kankakee Valley Junior High School. And then we moved to Crown Point, and I graduated from Crown Point High School in 1982.
Okay, that sounds like you did a lot of moving around.
Quite a bit.
You made a lot of friends, I bet.
Yep.
So what made you, did you have a desire to be a professor when you were younger, or just kind of like molded into what you wanted to do?
Not really. Actually, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college, but I had a friend who gave me a gift of some money to go to college. So I started majoring in pre-med here at IUN and quickly realized I was not meant to be a doctor. And after 3 semesters, I got kicked out for bad grades. I had been dating my now wife for quite some time. And after about 1.5 years of me just kind of messing around and not doing anything, she said, "I don't care what you do, but I don't want to marry a bum." So, and she did. She called me a bum. And she said, "You better figure it out." So I came back to IUN and decided to major in education. And I got a degree in secondary education teaching math.
Oh, wow. Were you always good at math, or?
I was always good at math and English, but when I decided to be a teacher, I decided I liked math because the answers are concrete. Yeah. Whereas in English, 5 different professors could grade a paper 5 different ways. So I decided to go with math.
Okay. With the math degree, did you start at, you said secondary education?
Secondary education, yeah.
So did you teach high school, middle school?
I did. I taught middle and high school here in Gary at Emerson School for Visual and Performing Arts, which is down on 7th and Carolina. Well, it was. The building is still there, but I taught at Emerson for 8 years, and the last 4 years that I was at Emerson, I was an adjunct faculty member here. And then I got my master's degree, and I came on board here at IUN full-time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you plan on staying at IUN or drifting off somewhere else? Where do you see yourself in the future?
At this point, I think I will probably retire from IUN. I've been here for over 30 years as a faculty member, and I graduated from here. I love IUN and all the opportunities it offers. And so I imagine in the next 7 to 10 years, I'll probably retire from here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Being an alumni here, what would you say for the new grads coming in that don't know what they're doing, what they want to do? What would you say from your experience, not coming into college and not knowing really where to plan yourself at? What would you say for new people coming in?
Sure. I think the most important thing is that students don't have to have a major when they come to college. Mm-hmm. Most students change their major. I did, and some students change their major 2 or 3 times. So they shouldn't feel this pressure that they have to know exactly what they're going to do. Most of the prerequisite courses that they take during the first 2 years are going to apply to any degree. And so they should come in with an open mind and take some basic introductory classes. And if something interests them, maybe pursue that path. If they take a psychology class and find that they love it, maybe they're meant to be a psychology major, so they could take another psychology class or what have you. But don't feel this pressure that you have to know what you're doing when you come into the university.
Yeah, thank you for that advice. That was good.
Yeah.
And also, do you have kids?
My wife and I have 8 children.
Oh, wow.
And all 7 of the oldest have gone to IUN at one time or another, and our youngest is a senior in high school, and she will be starting at IUN in the fall.
Oh, wow. So did you portray that on your kids? We've been to IUN, you gotta carry on the family IUN?
No, not really. The benefit is that there's a tuition break for family members of IU faculty and staff, and so they get a discount for going here.
Oh, wow.
And so some of my kids went here and graduated from IUN. My oldest son ended up transferring to St. Cloud State University in Minnesota, where he graduated. And one of my sons decided to go to Ivy Tech, and he is now a very successful IT guy here in Northwest Indiana, but he didn't graduate from IUN either.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And last, I have one more question.
Sure.
What is your motive to come here and teach others?
Oh, wow. I've always liked teaching.
Mhm.
I've always liked tutoring and helping students. And when I came here initially back in 1992 as an adjunct, I just imagined that I would just teach and that would be the end of it. But as my career advanced, I started experiencing some success as a teacher here at IUN. I won the President's Award for Indiana University Teachers back in 2014. And I was heavily influenced by other faculty members here at IU Northwest, like Dr. Chuck Gallmeyer and Dr. Iztak Hozo and Dr. Larry Schiefelbusch and Dr. Henry Wazinski. These are all professors who had quite an impact on my career. And as I worked here longer, I wanted to be impactful on other people. So I've tried to help other faculty and other students to do well. So that's really my motivation, is to help people to succeed in life.
Yeah, that's good. What specific math course do you teach here?
Well, I've taught everything from the lowest level developmental course all the way up to the second semester calculus class. Right now, I primarily focus on our M100 course, which is a general topics math course for students who are not math majors, but they have to have a math course. Most of my students are nursing or College of Health and Human Services students. I get psychology students, English majors, fine arts students, and people who have to have a math class but aren't majoring in the sciences. That's my primary focus.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yep.
Good to hear. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, tell me what you're doing here at IUN. What is your major?
Yeah, so I am a business administration major with a human resource minor.
Okay.
I did actually, when you brought up the switching majors, I actually was a radiology rad student.
Yeah.
And then after the first semester, after the first anatomy and physiology semester that I had, I was like, yeah, this is kind of not for me. So I switched to business. It was kind of hard on me because I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm the first generation student.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. So I didn't have anyone to like walk me through, like, it's gonna be okay, like people do this, I had to learn it on my own. So going through that, it really taught me and opened my eyes that, what you said earlier, going back, that, everyone has their own path, and if it's not yours, it's okay to jump and move to something different,
Yep.
which what I did. And I'm actually grateful that I, moved on to something that's more myself, because I work at a bank right now. So with that, I have experience, and now I could transition into something more better opportunity-wise with this degree that since I'm already working in the field. So I really appreciate that, I took that risk to transfer over to business.
Yeah, and I'd like to address that. Sometimes students will think, I want to be a radiology major, and they'll take an anatomy and physiology class, and they'll feel like, well, I just wasted a semester. Well, you didn't, because you learned what you don't want to do. Exactly. And those credit hours still count toward your degree. So it was actually a success because you discovered what you don't want to do. That's just as important as discovering what you do want to do. And so any students who are watching this, I hope will understand that taking a class and realizing you don't want to do that, that's not a failure. That's a huge success.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of new students, coming right out of high school, it's like, I don't know what to do. This is my whole life. Like, you get freaked out a little bit because so young, you're not like mentally sure like what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right. So
I feel like, my advice to people coming in, new incomers is, if you feel like it's not for you, just take that chance, and, you'll discover yourself in that meantime.
Absolutely. So. That's absolutely true. And while you're at it, you should take some extracurricular activities and find out what it is that you enjoy. That's a great way to make friends.
Yes.
And it will help all along the way when you discover what you do like, what you don't like, who your friends are, and things like that.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's my story.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I think that's wraps up our interview. Thank you so much for coming out and taking the time out of your day to meet with me and talk about this. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I want to see all students succeed, and your professor, HelenMarie Harmon, is a fantastic instructor. She's been a friend for many years, and I would do anything to help any of her students.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.